me just first say we're so fortunate to have Chancellor Motley in charge of the University of Mass Boston these days. Really has turned this university around over the last several years, and he's so dynamic. To follow him is very difficult. I want to thank Ideas Boston, our partners, and our host, Chancellor Motley and the University of Mass Boston. I want to thank the innovation increasingly calls Boston home. So I am pleased to be at a conference about new ideas. I always tell my staff, what's the new ideas? What can we do differently for the people of Boston? Innovation businesses call Boston home. 80 new companies have located in our innovation district in the past 2 years. Innovations are changing the world, and they are creating jobs. Young innovators call Boston home. We have more young adults per capita than any other city in the country. At the rate we are going, we could have more food trucks too. There's a long story behind the food trucks, folks. If I had time, I'd tell you. Innovations in public service has a strong home here too. My Office of New Boston Urban Mechanics is leading the movement towards citizen-centered technologies. This month, we are launching a new tech messaging version of our widely praised and now copied Citizens Connect tool. Last month, Boston was named the sixth most economically powerful city in the world by Atlantic Monthly. Just think about that. What helped drive us past other cities are innovation. I come here today with optimism about our power of new ideas. But I also have a challenge for you. The U.S. is now a more economically unequal society than we were, than we think we are, and then we aspire to be. On the eve of the financial crisis, economic inequality reached its highest level since 1928. For the past 3 decades, the average income level for the top 1% has grown from less than $400,000 to $1.3 million. Over the same time, income growth for people making $30,000 has remained nearly flat for 3 decades. The middle class has been stuck, and they feel it. Economic inequality is a historical high. Economic mobility is lower than many industrialized countries. This much we know, but there's much more we do not know. What are the causes? You don't have any easy answers or even complicated ones. Researchers tell us that education alone doesn't explain it. Neither does a shift to the information economy. What are the consequences? Will high levels of economic inequality slow our growth? Will it stall job creation? What will it mean for families in the communities they live in? What will it mean for our democracy? We can all point to the mess in Washington, but can we say whether inequality is one of its causes? And finally, what could we or should we do about all of these issues? I ask you all that question this morning. Extreme economic inequality may be as big as a threat to our economy as climate change. To those who deny either trend, I don't know what to say. But to the people here, the researchers, the idea makers, the entrepreneurs, I urge you to take up this question. What are the consequences of extreme economic inequality, and how can they be addressed? The Occupy movement is alarm ringing, and like a fire alarm, it could be noisy and disorder and disruptive. But we can't just keep pointing at the alarm. We need to think about how to save the building and rescue the people inside. Today, my question is, what will the occupiers do next about inequality? Is what will you do about inequality? In Boston, we have a special obligation to take on this task. We have the fastest growing economy of any city in the country. Last year, we should make sure the returns are shared wisely. But we also have a special asset. We have a business community that works with us to tackle tough issues. We have the best universities and researchers in the world. We have a deep sense of community and shared responsibility that spans centuries. If there's any place on the planet can address the challenges, it's right here in Boston. We aren't going to fully understand this issue, not solve it on our own. Our federal government must be engaged. A good first step would be congressional hearings on the consequences of extreme income inequality. But in Boston, together, we can do our part. This week, Boston was named the most innovative city in the world for the second year in a row. We are proud of that. But if we are to live up to that billing, we need new ideas to preserve and old ideas. That all men and women should have equal chance of opportunities. I want to thank you all for having me here today. Thank you for your ideas, but there's an inequality issue. It's a huge issue. We got to start addressing it, folks. It's not snow. It's not going to melt and go away. We start dealing with those issues now. We'll be a better country, better city, and a better world. Thank you very much. Have a great day.